Wow, we have quite the news video today. I wasn't expecting to do back-to-back news videos because normally it doesn't happen that way, that I just do a different type of Switch 2 video. But a lot of stories came out today, a lot of leaks, and a lot of unexpected things have happened today. But before we jump into the news, I gotta ask you guys to please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We've been uploading every single day, doing Switch 2 videos. It's been an absolute blast. We're trying to hit 17,000 subscribers before we head over to New York City next month for the Nintendo Switch 2 launch. We're gonna be filming that. It's gonna be an absolute blast. But I know y'all have heard me talk about that so many times, so I'm trying to shorten it. But I do want to advertise in case those have not liked the video or subscribed yet. I would greatly appreciate it. Without further ado, let's jump right into the news. This one has to be the funniest thing that I have seen and probably the most unexpected thing to have happen. They have dropped a brand new trailer for Hitman World of Assassination, which is, I believe, the whole Hitman series, like the newer ones, all coming to the Nintendo Switch 2. And we got another trailer regarding it, and the Switch 2 edition has some exclusive content. One of those things being a Mario outfit. I kid you not, they have showed off footage of Mario outfit into Hitman. He's got a mushroom, he's got a mustache, red outfit, a golden wrench, kind of implying that, you know, the Mario plumber. However, I don't know if this is exclusive to the Switch 2 edition, if it's going to be on all platforms, because this obviously is not an official collaboration from Nintendo, because Nintendo would never let Mario be anywhere near the Hitman IP, considering what the type of game that is. But it's still the funniest thing that I have ever seen, and honestly really cool. It's definitely the outfit that I will be using as I play through the Hitman games, because yeah, who else would want to use a Mario outfit while doing the things that Hitmans do? That's just the funniest thing ever. Very unexpected and kind of cool. Kind of reminds me of like the good old days when third-party games would do weird kind of collaborations to promote their versions of the game. You know, the GameCube is known for having Mario as playable characters in like the sports games. I remember back in the Wii U, they would advertise like character costumes for Bayonetta. This kind of just reminds me of that. I think it's a cool throwback to that era, because we've seen all consoles do weird stuff like this. So I hope we get to see more games do weird things like this, even if it's like unofficial but so obvious what it is, collaborations. I think would be the coolest thing ever. Alright, let's jump into this one. This one has had a lot of people mad, but I think a lot of people are misreading into this and don't really understand what they are doing here. So Limited Run has announced a Radu Collector's Edition. And the thing that people are pointing out is that within the Collector's Edition of these games, it still has the Switch 2 edition, which is a game keycard, which has had a lot of people hating on Limited Run. But what a lot of people don't realize is that Limited Run has nothing to do with the publishing of this game. What Limited Run is just doing is just making the items for the collector's editions. We have seen many third-party companies reach out to Limited Run to make the collector's edition of their game. I think Assassin's Creed at one point was doing this with Limited Run. I know EA has done this a lot with Star Wars and Dead Space. Limited Run's even done the official collector's edition for Sonic Generations. And everyone has been looking at this as, oh my gosh, Limited Run's going to be doing game keycards now, because the Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Radu still is a game keycard. No, calm down, guys. I even tweeted at Limited Run, and Limited Run confirmed to me that they're just producing the collector's edition items. The only thing that they're making in terms of a physical game for this is the PlayStation 4 edition of Radu. So everyone needs to calm down. This has been a thing that Limited Run has done for years. They're obviously not doing game keycards, but it does beg the question, what is going to be the first Limited Run project that happens with the Nintendo Switch 2? As there's a lot of things that they could be doing now with the whole game keycards being a thing. Limited Run could come in, try to put everything on cartridge. That could be a big move for Limited Run. It's going to be very interesting, and I believe they even hinted into the replies, because everyone was getting mad at them for having a collector's edition of this and it's still a game keycard, that they have a upcoming Nintendo Switch 2 release, so that should probably be announced pretty soon. I know Limited Run has their showcase event always in June, and that's when I'm expecting to see Limited Run Switch 2 titles be officially announced at their big E3 presentation in the month of June. And the collector's edition is going to be $250 for those that care. I more talked about this just due to the controversy of it, because of everyone thinking that Limited Run's going towards this path. Like I said, there is nothing to worry about here. They've done this many times before. Just calm down. It's gonna be okay. Okay, this one, I honestly was not going to talk about it, but everyone is reporting on it, and I think I will talk about it, but I don't think that this is true. But I want this to be said. Take this with a grain of salt, because who it's coming from is coming from an account that has really been all over the place. I really don't think this is something to get excited for. However, I do think it's something that will happen for the Nintendo Switch 2 later on. The Nintendo Switch 2 stock Twitter account has reposted an image and talking about how themes will be coming to the Nintendo Switch 2 at a later update. It'll be in firmware version 2.0. The only way to get these themes will be through missions and platinum points, which is something that your My Nintendo account has, and some will be ones that you'll have to pay for through the eShop. Now, like I said, this is something that I would take a massive grain of salt, because who it's coming from, I don't think they have gotten anything right before. I remember they posted a bunch of like launch titles that was going to be coming to the Nintendo Switch 2, and those titles never ended up happening or getting announced at the Switch 2 presentation event. But what I do think is going to happen is I do think something like this will be happening for the Nintendo Switch 2. It's just going to be something that won't be available at launch. Themes are probably one of the most requested things with the Nintendo Switch 2, and everyone complained about it on the Switch 1, especially considering that through the settings, there was an option for themes, and we only got 2 themes. I feel like with the Switch 2 still using that same UI, Nintendo is going to look at these complaints and make the themes happen, but I think it's something that will happen later this year. It's kind of like one of those things with PlayStation 3. PlayStation 3 achievements didn't come out till later. It's the same thing with Nintendo Switch 2. I think achievements could probably be happening for the system just later down the road. I would not be putting a lot of thought into this leak or really anything that is happening with this Twitter account. The only reason why we're talking about it today is because it's going around, and I kind of wanted to shut it down pretty fast, but I also wanted to tell you that I do think something like this will be happening in the future, but from it coming from this Twitter account, it is more than likely a fake rumor. And who knows, maybe this guy gets something right, but from what I'm seeing, they haven't even posted where this came from, so it looks like they just started this. All right, a big one that has been leaked by Saudi Arabia of all places. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero has been already rated for Nintendo Switch 2 over there in Saudi Arabia, which this is a game that I think makes very much sense to come to the Switch 2, considering that all the other Dragon Ball games have come to the Switch in the past, but something like Sparking Zero could have never came to Switch 1 because of how demanding that game can be at times. So I think it makes sense that this is coming. I think there's going to be a lot of questions of if is it going to be a game key card or not, so there's going to be controversy probably once that gets announced, but I think this is a big title and we'll have a lot of people very excited to see it happen. I think it sounds like it is going to be coming out pretty soon if it's already being rated. So this sounds like this will be a title that will come out this year. As of when, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe in the late summer cycle is when we will see this game get dropped, and I think an announcement could be imminent. Me personally, it's not a game that I will be picking up as I don't really do anything with anime. The only stuff that I will play is Yu-Gi-Oh! That's probably the best anime I've ever seen. That's it. That's all I'm doing with anime. Yu-Gi-Oh! That's it. Dragon Ball, it's just not for me. This last one I debated about talking about or not, but Digital Foundry has done another video regarding the Nintendo Switch 2 and one of its third-party games, and that game being Hogwarts Legacy. They've done a deep dive analyzing the footage, all that good stuff, and they did a whole video talking about what the issues are, what makes it great, the differences from the Switch 1 port. And I got a few little things that I wanted to talk about that was indicated in the article by Go Nintendo. The performance was locked at 30 frames that was sometimes dropping in certain areas of the game. Certain areas was not looking as great with the visuals compared to other versions of the game out there, which kind of makes sense, I guess, but at the same time, I'm kind of iffy on that, so I wouldn't put too much into that. I feel like that could be updated later. Runs at 720p supposedly, which this does not make sense to me, as I'm pretty sure that they have confirmed that Hogwarts Legacy was going to be 1080p by Avalanche Games and Warner Brothers. So I don't know where the 720p is coming from, but there's a reason why we're talking about this, and we'll get to it once I get done talking about their summaries of the game. Some of the compromises that is made in the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and original Switch versions are still intact for the Switch 2 version. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is obviously Digital Foundry is a well-known channel. They have covered the Nintendo Switch many times. They are known for their analyzing games and all that good stuff. They have a very high credibility when it comes to this stuff. But when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2, they have gotten so much wrong that I feel like we really should not be putting much stock into them right now when it comes to the Switch 2. We've seen them talk about things with Star Wars Outlaws that doesn't even make sense. They even put the words of the footage that we are seeing of Star Wars Outlaws is actually the PlayStation 4 edition of the game. Want to know something funny, guys? There is no PlayStation 4 edition of Star Wars Outlaws. So I think everyone probably should not be paying attention to them. They have gotten so much wrong with the Switch 2. And I feel like some of these things, like the 720p part, does not make sense to me, because I'm pretty sure it's been confirmed that 1080p is the lowest that the game can even get to. So if anybody was worried about the Switch 2's power after seeing their video on Hogwarts Legacy, I would just calm down and wait for the official release of this game, especially considering that these games are still being updated, that we will probably see better frame rates, better resolution, better looking areas by the time that Hogwarts Legacy is here, because it's not even done yet for Nintendo Switch 2. Guys, that is everything I have for you. Please let me know what you think. What was your favorite story? I think that Hitman story is the craziest thing that I never really expected to be saying or be using in a Hitman game, but I'm definitely excited. And honestly, Hitman's now probably like a higher tier game for me right now in terms of my excitement to play for Switch 2. It's like getting higher on the list as more comes out about this game. But I have been talking for way too much, guys. Make sure to backslash that subscribe button, like the video, check out the Twitter, check out the Discord server, the Instagram, become a Monado Marine membership, or that did not make sense. Become a Monado Marine for $5 a month. Helps out the channel tremendously. It's YouTube's membership thing. Same thing that Twitch does with their little members, or I forgot what Twitch calls those tiers of things now, but that doesn't matter. Or no, it's subs. Twitch subs. That's how they handle it. I don't know why I decided to stop the outro since I remembered that, but there's that important information that you did not ask for that you more than likely already knew about. I'm just going to end this video now. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.